This is Caitlin, your host of the No Sleep for Dramas podcast, where we get no sleep and survive on coffee to watch just one more episode at night. Hello, and welcome back to another episode on the No Sleep for Dramas podcast. I am, of course, your host, Caitlin, and we are here for a monthly wrap up. Yes, May has ended or will be ending when this comes out. This is the last week of May, and that means we're wrapping up May and looking forward to June. May was an interesting month because usually May I am very busy, which I would say in the first half I was very busy. I literally didn't watch any dramas in like the first 2 weeks of May, which probably affected how much I completed. I still think I completed a fair amount in May, probably on par with what I did in April, which is definitely an improvement from earlier in the year. But it definitely is not where I usually am with dramas or where I want to be. But baby steps, baby steps. I feel like in 2025 in general, this is just going to be a common thing for me where I'm just not going to complete as many dramas due to personal problems. And as wouldn't even say like personal problems. It's just like stuff going on with me and me being busy, but also other things that's affecting when I can watch stuff and if I complete stuff because I'm just watching stuff slower these days. Anyway, this is going to be a common thing in 2025. I already know I'm not going to complete as many dramas as I wanted to in 2025. I mean, this is going to be a low drama year for me, and we're not even halfway through. Because at this point, in the start of June in 2024 even, which I considered a low drama, I had already completed like 30 dramas at that time. I maybe have completed 15 right now as we speak. It's going to be a low drama year for me, which means it's probably not going to be a good drama year for me. 2025 is just different, man. Really, it's just different. But that's not what we're here to talk about. We're talking about wrapping up May. Basically, I am going to be talking about the dramas I completed in May, what I thought about them, and it's not just dramas, like movies, anime, whatever I completed in May, my ratings on them, and then we're going to talk about some dramas that I am looking forward to in June. Hopefully I get back to watching airing dramas in June because right now that's not the case. I don't think I'm watching a single airing drama and I haven't in months. So I don't know because it's like on one hand I kind of like it because I'm not on a schedule. I'm also not a binger though, which doesn't help if I'm watching all completed dramas because I usually like to mix it up because then I 1 to 2 episodes of a certain show if it's airing a week and then I'll just fill in the gaps otherwise. Nowadays, I don't know. It's weird. 2025 is a weird, wonky year for me. We'll see. We'll see if I can actually start watching some airing dramas in June again. I might just be trying to get stuff off my watch list again in June. I don't know. We'll see what happens, but we just know I'll be watching things in June, hopefully, and I will be able to complete a lot more things than I did, but it's also not a bad month in May either. We'll see. We'll see where I end up. All right, so moving into the dramas I completed in May, as I said, May was a pretty good month for me for completing dramas. I definitely got some things off my current watch list. Not everything I wanted, because there's one drama and one anime I should have finished months ago that I haven't. And hopefully I can at least get one more before May closes out off my current watch list, but I know I'm probably going to be moving into June with at least one of those two things still on my watch list, but that means I really, really am going to finish them in June because either I drop something, and it's not the case that I'm not liking what I'm watching, it's just I just had other priorities. Like I had to binge stuff for the podcast, or I had older stuff I need to get off, and this was old, but not as old as other things I needed to get off my current watch list. So we'll see what happens, but hopefully I can at least get one more thing off my watch list. This is coming out a couple days early in May. It comes out today on the 28th, and May doesn't end until Saturday, obviously. If I complete one of the two things I'm thinking about on my current watch list by the 31st, I'll just talk about my review of that in my June wrap up and just mention that I finished this stuff in May because I obviously had to record this episode before May ended due to scheduling and things. So there might be one or two things that are not in this episode that I actually did complete in May, but we'll just address that when it comes to June and I'll just backtrack and talk about that one or two things in May that I did complete. But we'll see what happens. That might not happen. I might just wait until June and then finish them, which is a dumb idea, but here we are. Anyway, talking about May, I did not start any of the new dramas I was looking forward to in May either, mainly because I just needed to prioritize stuff. And I knew if I started new things, I would never get around to finishing some of the other things I needed to finish and also get dramas I needed to watch and for podcast episodes off my plate. I just did not start any airing dramas, but that means I can now, mostly because they're done, but for the most part, start them and maybe finish them and maybe watch them. I'll continue to try to get stuff on my current watch list though at this point. We'll see. Hopefully I can get back, as I said, to a mix of airing and finished dramas, but we'll see what works. We'll see what happens. At least I'm watching stuff. I'm just happy I'm back to watching stuff because it was miserable at the start of the year where I was not watching anything for weeks. And granted, in this point in May, I did just say the first 2 weeks of May, I did not watch anything. So really, this is stuff that I finished in the last 2 weeks, which is good for me, really. Because I don't know, I'm sometimes really slow at finishing things and sometimes I'm not. And I'm also not a binger, so I'll take what I can get. All right, so I finished 3 dramas in May and then 5 movies. We all probably know what those 5 movies are, but we'll just go down the list. I completed a rewatch of Flower of Evil again. Yes, I have rewatched this 5 times now, and I think I've done podcast episodes on this at least twice. Well, now you're getting a Flower of Evil review on my podcast in June, which is why I rewatched this for the 5th time because this is one of my favorite crime Korean dramas of all time, and I rewatch scenes all the time. But whenever I do like a review on it or want to do a podcast episode or I'm invited to do a podcast episode, I like to rewatch it because I kind of always remember the parts I like a lot, and then I don't remember some of the other details. I just rewatched this again just to give me a little refresher for my future podcast episode. I am having a guest for that episode who has never seen Flower of Evil, which is why I'm so excited for this episode. When I invited these people to be a host on my podcast, I said, hey, you guys don't normally watch crime dramas, or if you do, it's very far and few between. You're not like me where I'm constantly watching crime dramas. So, excuse me, do you have a crime drama that you have always wanted to watch and you just either have never found the time or you have other priorities because you are more into romance dramas, or maybe you're only into watching a certain country and you want to try out a crime drama from another country, that type of thing. That's how I approached my hosts, and so Flower of Evil was a request from one of my hosts. You will get that episode in June. As I said, I will always rewatch this drama because it's one of my favorites. I rated this again a 9.5 out of 10. I don't think that score will ever change. It has not changed in the 4 times I've watched it. I have a few quibbles with it, which I always address, I always talk about, and I still have those same issues no matter how many times I watch it. I still remember when I got to my major issue I had with this in my first watch, I was so mad. I'm not going to reveal what that was. You'll have to listen to the episode to hear what my quibbles are about Flower of Evil. But overall, this is a fantastic crime drama, and I absolutely love it. Different countries have done remakes of this drama since it aired, and China has actually made a remake, but it has not come out yet. I'm really curious about that remake because maybe I have to do a versus episode on the Korean Flower of Evil and then the C-drama version because I do like the cast in the C-drama version, but I honestly don't know how it would be able to live up to the Korean version. I don't know. I'm really biased with that. I just love the Korean drama and the acting of it. If you're looking for a nice intro into crime dramas, I would say try Flower of Evil. It is somewhat violent, but it's not as violent as some of the other crime dramas you might encounter in K-drama land. Look forward to a upcoming podcast review of this with a special guest, one of my hosts. I'm really excited to do a Flower of Evil review on my own podcast because I'm really curious what my host will think of it. That will be out in June. Again, I rated Flower of Evil a 9.5 out of 10. I will always rate it that. Next up, I completed Time Between Dog and Wolf. This is a much older Korean drama, 2007. I watched it on Viki. Oh, you can watch Flower of Evil on Viki. Anyway, getting back to Time Between Dog and Wolf. I had never seen this drama. This is a podcast review that is coming to my podcast in June. I also had a host, and this was her suggestion to check out this drama. She has seen the drama. I had not. It was a lot of fun. I actually have already recorded that episode. A lot of fun, a lot of great discussion on that. I'm super excited to share that episode with you guys as well. That is also coming out in June. I liked this Korean drama a lot more than I thought I would. I didn't think I would dislike it, but I will admit the age kind of was like, will I really like it? Because this actually is a drama that's before I even started watching dramas, which is something I don't encounter every single day because I started watching dramas in 2008. Since this made in 2007, it's even older than when I started watching dramas, which is impressive. I think my expectations were low just because it was an older drama. I was pleasantly surprised, especially with the story. If you like K-dramas like The Worst of Evil, you will probably like this. It's about undercover missions and revenge. So if you like that type of thing, you will probably like this drama. And this drama really has a lot more depth to it than I assumed it would. You have drama, it's a little light makjang, but not full blown. I mean, I've seen it, some dramas go crazier than what you get in this, but it was still a lot of fun because there was still some light makjang in it. It does have some over the top acting, but I was okay with that because at other moments the acting was really good. It kind of balanced it out. Love the bromance in this drama. Fantastic romance. And I thought that the characters were complicated and not one note. And I just was really surprised with this. And this just tells me that I need to check out older dramas. And I've watched a few older dramas. So if I'm having this reaction to Time Between Dog and Wolf, you guys should check out some of the older dramas because they're fantastic. Anyway, that is Time Between Dog and Wolf. I rated that an 8.5 out of 10 and look forward to an upcoming podcast episode on that review as well with one of my hosts. You'll find out who. I'm sure you guys probably can predict who. But anyway, that's also coming out in June. So you're getting 2 K-drama reviews in June on the podcast. I'm very excited for both of them. Last drama I finished, it's a Korean drama that I should have finished at least a month ago, was The Art of Negotiation. I watched it on Viki. I gave this an 8 out of 10. I am glad I stuck with this because I did almost drop it after like episode 4 or 5, mainly because I did not like The Intern. But The Intern grew on me. The drama is not for everybody though. You have to love company politics and the M&A part of the drama because that's a major theme because the team is an M&A, the mergers and acquisitions team. You don't have to understand everything they're talking about, but you just have to go into drama with the understanding that there's going to be a lot of conversation and a lot of talking around M&A and around that topic and around what they're doing. So you might not understand every little business thing they talk about, which I for sure did not because my experience is not in M&A. But if you go into the drama understanding that you're probably not going to understand 100% everything that they're talking about in these boardrooms, I think you would fare better than if you try to understand everything. You could tell the production team studied up a lot on this topic and put that into the drama. They did a lot of research. They wanted to make the M&A group as believable as possible. So it might seem dry to some people. That's what I'm saying. You do have a revenge storyline. It's slow moving. I wish it was a little faster because it really happened towards more of the end of the drama. It does have a satisfying revenge ending in my opinion though, but it is set up for a season 2 and people might not like that. And setting that up for a season 2, some people might say that it took away from the satisfying revenge. I could see why. I'm not revealing spoilers, but I could see why that would be the case. But it also makes sense why they did it the way they did it to set up for season 2 if they eventually made a season 2. It's not an open ending though, in my opinion. They just changed some things so if they wanted to do a season 2, there definitely could be a season 2, and it could be a revenge drama again. I also love the found family of this drama. I wish there was more found family, and if they do season 2, I'm sure that will be the case, but the found family we got in this drama was great. Some of the episodes were way too long though, because there was like anywhere between an hour to an hour and a half episode, depending on the episode. And also, due to how much jargon and M&A stuff they put into the episodes, you might not understand everything that's going on. Again, I rated this an 8 out of 10. I'm really glad I finished it. I'm really glad I didn't drop it, but it's not the best Korean drama I've ever seen in my life either. I think this drama was made for a certain type of person. Some people will either really like this drama, some people will like it, like me, where it's not my favorite, but it's not the worst thing I've ever watched. And then some people will either never watch it, drop it, or not like it, and but they finish it. There's no in between. You'll either like it or dislike it. That was The Art of Negotiation. I gave it an 8 out of 10. And now we're moving into the movies. Now, these are going to be a little shorter of the review because if you know, I did another Studio Ghibli review episode this month and I released that with Jess. You can go back and listen to it. So if you want a more in-depth review of these 5 movies, you can go and listen to that episode. Right now, I'm just going to give a quick little review of each movie and my rating. The first one we reviewed in the episode was Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. This is a Studio Ghibli film I watched on HBO Max. It's one I had not seen. I love the female lead. The movies had a lot of great messages in it, like anti-war, common messages that I've seen from the other Studio Ghibli movies, nature related, conservation related. I was surprised I liked this one, pleasantly surprised, but I was surprised I liked this one. Loved that had more of a fantasy feel to it. In my opinion, the ending seemed a bit unfinished or abrupt, but I rated it a 9 out of 10, so I really did like this movie. Next up, we got Castle in the Sky, another Studio Ghibli movie. I rated this an 8 out of 10. I don't think I had seen this movie before, but I know I've definitely seen scenes and I knew of it. It's a famous Studio Ghibli movie. I don't think I liked this as much as other people did. It was good, in my opinion, but something was missing. I don't know what it was. I can't put my finger on it. I like the steampunk setting. I loved the main character's relationship, even though they were children and it was a little weird on like the chemistry that they had, even though they were children, which Jess and I talk about in the episode. I wanted more lore with the flying city and maybe the girl's background, and the ending, in my opinion, could have been better. I felt like the ending was just abruptly ended, and I wanted to see where everybody ended up. Also, why did the kids not stay with the pirates, in my opinion? I would have liked that, but I did like the fantasy of it all. 8 out of 10 for Castle in the Sky. Grave of the Fireflies is another one that we watched for the episode. I watched this on Netflix. Listen, I did not like this one. I gave it a 5 out of 10, which I think in hindsight is like generous in my opinion, but it's just so depressing. And it's such a different vibe from any other Studio Ghibli movie I have ever watched in my life. It is a really impactful story and it's an important story to tell. It's so depressing. There's no other way to say it. The animation was beautiful. As an adult watching this, though, I couldn't agree with some of the choices that were made both by the adults and the male lead, who was 14. I also found the sister to be quite annoying. She was 4 in the movie, so I can't really be mad about it at the same time because she was 4 dealing with a horrific situation. I did appreciate you knew the ending at the beginning because then you knew how sad it was gonna be. I can't recommend this movie to anybody. If anything, it's like a good one watch movie. Like, so you can say that you've seen it, you can say you've seen every Studio Ghibli movie, you can get the message, get the impact of the movie, but I would never recommend this movie to somebody, let alone recommend rewatching it. I gave that a 5 out of 10. That was Grave of the Fireflies. We have 2 more movies. The next movie I finished was My Neighbor Totoro. I rated this an 8.5 out of 10. I watched it on HBO Max. It's a cute and fun movie, definitely geared towards kids. I think as an adult watching this, it was a little too geared towards kids, in my opinion, but it's still cute. It just seemed a little young for me. Beautiful animation. I did like the magic. I love the subtle messages that you kind of get and understand more as an adult, like children dealing with a sick parent or a single family house or a single parent household, that type of thing. Definitely fun to rewatch, especially if you have seen this as a kid and you haven't seen it since you were a kid. If you want to hear more on that, you can go and listen to my episode. And then the last Studio Ghibli film that we covered on the episode that I released this month was Kiki's Delivery Service, HBO Max. I am very biased with this review, both here as well on that episode, because it's my first ever Studio Ghibli movie that I ever watched. I even have a tattoo of the cat from this movie on my leg. I'm very biased towards this review. Love the coming of age story. I love the magic. It was interesting because I released this and I got a lot of comments on people's theories about it, of especially a topic that we brought up in the episode about the cat. I don't want to reveal it here, but you can go listen to the episode and hear the one thing we did not like about the movie is something to do with the cat. And I've heard some really interesting theories about that now that I released the episodes. I love doing these types of things where we do a review, we do a movie review, it may be a movie that you have watched as a kid and you revisited, like Kiki's Delivery Service, or you've never seen the movie or drama, reviewing an older drama, that type of thing. And then you get people in the comments or DMing us about, I've watched this movie like 10 times. This is why this happened, or this is another theory. Oh, I like your theory on this movie, or hey, I haven't seen this movie in years. It's so nice to revisit it. Like, I love having those types of conversations with people who are kind of going down memory lane with stuff that I have released and I'm talking about, whether I watched it for the first time or I'm rewatching it. So that's one of the reasons why I love talking about older dramas, older movies, things I've already seen. Also, you constantly have people who just started watching Asian dramas and Asian movies and they don't know where to start. So when you have podcast episodes and reviews out there, or just like episodes discussing older dramas, whether that's a list or in certain genres or a review or whatever, those new people discover dramas to check out and know where to find them, like Netflix or HBO Max or whatever. I love getting comments like that, because then I also learned some things, because the comment that she said was something I had never thought about. It was really interesting to then analyze that whole entire movie of Kiki's Delivery Service again, hearing her theory that she gave. If you want to know that theory, please DM me, because I just don't want to reveal like a spoiler of the movie if somebody has not seen the movie. We do spoil it in the full episode, but there's a spoiler warning on that episode. I just don't want to reveal it here. Anyway, that was Kiki's Delivery Service. I rated this a 10 out of 10, but that is a very biased rating because, as I said, this is my favorite Studio Ghibli movie, hands down. And I don't think that will change, really. Maybe there'll be a tie, but right now, not so much. Anyway, that is everything that I completed in May, and I did not drop any dramas in May. We are now going to move directly into what I'm excited for in June. I honestly can't believe it's going to be June. Like, I can't believe we're halfway through the year already. I'm hoping, as I said, I'll get a lot of dramas off my plate and then I finally can be able to watch some airing Korean dramas again. There's like 4 or 5 from the last 3 or 4 months that I have written down to check out and to watch, but I just have not clicked play on them yet. Even if I don't click play on those, at least I hope to click play on some of the dramas I'm looking forward to in June, so then I can at least I'm watching some airing dramas. We'll have to wait and see. All of the dramas I'm about to talk about is Korean dramas, because I have not heard of any concrete premiere dates for Chinese dramas, and I don't talk about rumors. I haven't even heard about like rumors of the Chinese dramas that are coming out in June, which I usually do. So it's weird. There's not going to be any Chinese dramas mentioned in this episode, but we're going to talk about 4 Korean dramas. We'll have to wait and see what I watch. We'll have to wait and see. The first Korean drama that we're going to be talking about is Mercy for None. It's going to come out on Netflix and it will premiere June 6th. As far as I'm aware, all of the episodes will drop, and I think it's 6 or 8 episodes. I want to say it's 6, but I could be wrong. I didn't write it down. Reason I'm excited for this, Soji Sub. Soji Sub is finally back. He has been gone, I think, at least 3 years he hasn't done a drama, at least. This one looks amazing. Also, right up his alley. He does this type of drama so well. I love a good revenge drama. It's a revenge drama. Of course, I'm gonna like it. It's dark. It's a dark revenge drama. Supporting cast also looks really good, which makes me happy all the time whenever I see a great supporting cast. If you guys have no idea what Mercy for None is about, it's about an ex-gangster. He was a gangster. He has exited that life. And then years later, after he stopped being a gangster, he finds out that his brother, who was also a fellow gangster in a rival gang, ended up dead. And it's like, he's dead. It's not by accident. Like, there's obviously something happened where somebody killed him, but they don't have any suspects. They don't know even the whole entire circumstances of a death, that type of thing. He finds out that his brother is dead. He wants revenge and he wants to know the truth about his brother's death, of why he was killed, if he was killed, by who he was killed, that type of thing. He enters back into the gangster life to get his revenge and figure out the truth about his brother's death. When the trailer dropped for this, I just was like, oh my God. I will say, the poster looks good, but also at the same time, there's something weird about the poster, at least the one that MDL had. I understand it was supposed to be a painting. It just looks weird. I don't know why. Obviously, you can kind of tell that's Soji Sub in the poster, but at the same time, it doesn't look like him. I don't know. I don't like the poster. I like the other poster they had before, but I just pulled the newest one off of what they had on MDL. If you didn't know, I put all my podcast notes on a blog, so I'm looking at my blog as I record this. If you want the links to any of the dramas I talk about in this, or want to see the poster I'm looking at, you can either look up Mercy for None on MDL or go to my blog post and you'll see what I'm talking about. But anyway, the poster, I don't know. The trailer, I'm a yes. I'm a huge yes on this drama. Next Korean drama I'm going to talk about basically came out of nowhere. I have no idea where this drama came from. It literally just came on my radar in the last week because they dropped a trailer. It's not even dropping a poster. They dropped a trailer. It is called Salon des Hommes. It's supposed to premiere on June 16th. It looks so fun. When I read Salon des Hommes, I'm thinking like noir, a little dark. No. I mean, the trailer does not give those vibes whatsoever. It's more of a comedy. Which sometimes I like comedy, depends, but I'm willing to check this out just to see. Anything with Holmes in the title, obviously Sherlock Holmes, I will at least check out because I'm obsessed with Sherlock Holmes. Also, Asian dramas are, Japanese dramas are really obsessed with Sherlock Holmes. I really need to watch more Japanese dramas that are based off of Sherlock Holmes because there's a ton. Also, with the locked room mystery theme, Japanese dramas always have that as well. Anyway, going back to Salon des Hommes, the drama is about four housewives who feel isolated, overwhelmed. They're always just doing housework. And somehow they get involved with solving cases by listening to stories of victims who also feel overlooked and ignored by people who should be paying attention to their story. That's basically all I got from the synopsis. First off, the cast of this, comedy queens. If you think of comedy Korean dramas, you think of the actresses in those, you get that here. I mean, there's some great comedic actresses in here. Again, this drama came out of nowhere, though. I love a good amateur detective drama, though. I always love the theme of housewives being detectives. I can't even think. I mean, the one I'm thinking about right now is, oh my God, I just blanked on the title. It's another housewife one. Oh my God, what is it? I literally just blanked on it. I have to look that up now. Oh my God. Hold on. Queen of Mystery. That is the drama. Oh my God, that took me so long to find. Queen of Mystery is about a housewife as well. I love that drama. And so, anytime you give me housewife, amateur, detective, I'm there because Queen of Mystery is just so good. It also reminds me I need to watch season 2 because I've never watched season 2. I should just do a rewatch and watch season 2 because I haven't watched it. But anyway, that's what I was trying to find. I was trying to find Queen of Mystery. So if you need a amateur detective, Queen of Mystery is a great choice. And it sounds like Salon des Hommes is going to be a woman-centered housewife drama as well. Hopefully we get this. There's no location of where it might be. Maybe Vicky will pick it up. So that was Salon de Homes. Next one looks dark, dark, dark crime drama. And of course, it's rumored for Disney Plus and Hulu. So I am so excited. Again, Disney Plus and Hulu killing it with the dark crime dramas. I'm here for it. I'm like pretty sure I'm never going to cancel that service now. This is Hunter with a Scalpel. I think it had a different name at the beginning of the year because I'm pretty sure I remember the lead, the girl, what's her name? Park Joo-hyun. I remember talking about this drama, but I don't think it was named Hunter with a Scalpel. I think it was named something else at the time. Either way, it's called Hunter with a Scalpel. It stars Park Joo-hyun. She's the female lead. This is giving me Flower of Evil or Come and Hug Me vibes, which I love. Park Joo-hyun plays a forensic investigator who had a possible serial killer father, and then she grew up and became a forensics investigator, and she discovers evidence one day during an autopsy that might link her father to this new crime. So now she has to kind of hunt down her father, solve this crime, but also not reveal her past to her coworkers at the same time. This sounds intense. It sounds great. And oh my God, that poster looks so freaky. The poster is like the three main leads, which is Park Joo-hyun, who's the daughter, Park Young-woo plays the father, and then Kang-hoon also stars in this. I think he's like her coworker cop person. It's three of them in the poster. And there's lines like cuts in the poster, and it's above each cut is a picture of their face. And each cut is cut in a way where it's stitched up like an autopsy stitch, haphazardly though, to kind of look scary. And they all look really serious. And then you get to the bottom of the screen where the actor who plays her father, Park Young-woo, his picture looks so creepy because he's like smiling evilly with a finger in front of his mouth, like shushing everybody, like, don't tell my secret. It looks creepy as hell, and then the lighting looks amazing. This apparently was sent to Cannes this year for 2025, so that's interesting. I think S-Line was also sent to Cannes. That's an upcoming crime Korean drama I really want to watch as well, but I'm super curious about this. I have not seen a trailer yet for this, only posters, but it again, dark, creepy. Hopefully it comes to Disney Plus and Hulu. I haven't seen confirmation on that, but it's rumored for that. I'm here for it. And last but certainly not least, I don't think this Korean drama needs any introduction whatsoever. That is Squid Game Season 3. Yes, we are finally getting the conclusion of Squid Game at the end of June. This comes out June 27th on Netflix. Apparently, Squid Game Season 3 basically picks up where Season 2 left off. I have not watched Season 2 yet because I basically just waited for Season 3 at this point. So now I have Season 2 and Season 3 I need to watch. I'm excited to finally watch Season 2 because I've heard a lot of good things about it. I, for some reason, also have not been spoiled. I don't understand. I know I've said this multiple times. I don't understand how I've not been spoiled on that drama at all. I'm excited to finally watch Season 2 and then roll into Season 3. So hopefully I can start Season 2 around the time that Season 3 airs. And then that way I can just roll into Season 3. Because I think this is also the case where they drop all the episodes for Squid Game Season 3. Could be wrong. I think you're getting 6 episodes in Season 3 and then 7 episodes was Season 2. Again, could be wrong. I know I just need to get my butt in gear and watch Season 2 though. And eventually Season 3, or I might actually be spoiled this time. That was Squid Game Season 3. That's out June 27th. If I didn't say, Hunter with a Scalpel is out June 16th. If I didn't say that. So that's 4 Korean dramas I'm looking forward to. Of course, all of them are dark, violent crime dramas. I swear I do watch romance dramas. I swear I do. I just have to find ones I want to watch. If you give me a romance mixed with crime, I might be excited to watch it. All right, and now, as per usual, the last part of this episode, I'm going to talk about some of the older dramas I plan to start in May due to some podcast recordings I'll be doing not in May, in June, I should say. I have 2 dramas and 1 anime I plan to start in June for upcoming podcast recordings. I plan to watch the Erased J-drama, which is technically a rewatch for me. And then I also plan to watch the Erased anime, which I've never seen. So I have an upcoming podcast episode on my own podcast where I'm bringing on a guest and we will be doing a versus episode where it's the J-drama erased versus the anime drama erased. I have seen the J-drama and not the anime. My guest has seen the anime and not the J-drama. So I'm really excited to have that conversation. I also am really excited to kind of see and compare these two because I love the Japanese drama. The Japanese drama is fantastic. It's one of the best crime Japanese dramas I've ever seen. It is really, really heartbreaking and sad and a really tough watch because it deals with children. Just FYI, trigger warning, but it's an amazing Japanese crime drama. So I'm anticipating it to be just as good in anime form, but we'll see. But I get to rewatch this Japanese drama, which I haven't rewatched in years. I think I watched it back in I don't even know. It's at least been 4 years since I've seen the Japanese drama. When did the Japanese drama come out? I want to say it was earlier than 2020, but I could be wrong. The Japanese drama came out in 2017. It's on Netflix. I watched it in 2018. I have not rewatched it since. So I will be rewatching it next month. Very excited for that. The other one that I'm going to be rewatching in this case for a podcast recording is Signal Season 1. I have not seen this drama in years, so I'm also excited to rewatch this for two reasons. One, as I said, I haven't watched this since 2019. That's when I watched it. Really excited to rewatch it because I think I forgot a bunch of stuff. I also have never seen like the Japanese version, so I plan to watch this and then kind of watch other versions as well. The other reason is season 2 is finally coming out after 10 years. And it's coming out sometime next year. I'm really excited to rewatch it season 1 this year and then be able to watch season 2 right away because I would probably be rewatching this anyway because season 2 is coming out next year. I am rewatching Signal season 1 for an upcoming podcast recording. That will be an episode also on my podcast. So you are getting Signal season 1 review on my podcast as well. Really excited again because my guest has never seen Signal. Very excited to have that conversation. So those are some of the older dramas that I'll be watching. Hopefully I can get more stuff off my watch list, add some other things, maybe add some airing dramas. We'll have to see. I feel like it's going to be a good watching month in June, just of what I plan to watch. But that's it. That is the episode. That is everything I've watched in May and then what I'm looking forward to in June. And of course, some of the other things I plan on starting. I hope June is good. But let me know if you are looking forward to any of the June dramas that I discussed, or you watched some of the dramas that I just completed, or movies you've seen. Let me know your thoughts on them. Did you agree with my review? Did you not agree with my review? Also, let me know what you're excited for and what you plan to watch in June. I have a ton of Chinese dramas I really want to watch, but again, I need to keep my current watch list under control. But we'll see what happens. That is another episode. That is another wrap-up episode. I hope you enjoyed this. Bye! If you want to continue the conversations about dramas that were started in this episode, you can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky under the username No Sleep for Dramas. That is No Sleep, the number 4 dramas, just like in the title of the podcast. This podcast is also an expansion of my blog, so you can visit my blog at www.nosleepfordramas.com, the number 4 dramas. And find multiple years of blog posts already available at your fingertips. All links are in the description of this episode. Finally, please give this podcast a like or a follow wherever you listen to the podcast. Leaving a comment or a review also helps a lot. We love hearing ideas and feedback from all of you. Share the podcast with your friends as well. Thank you for listening. This has been an episode of the No Sleep for Dramas podcast, and I am your host, Caitlin. I will see you here next time, and I hope you get no sleep chasing the next episode just like me. Good night.